Um, so a few days ago, I made a video warning people who are planning to vote in the conservative leadership election to stay clear of Peter Mackay. And I'm saying this as an independent. I'm not a conservative. I don't plan on voting in the conservative elections because to do that would mean I would have to donate to the party and get a membership card. And I refuse to be the member of any party out there. All of them have their good, all of them have their bad. I'm an independent. I have my own charter. And whichever leader comes closest to my political beliefs of populism, of nationalism, of a paleo conservative, to use an American word, I guess, they're the ones who will get my vote. National conservative. I mean, I guess you could say that my views are conservative, but I'm not in the conservative party. I'm a national conservative. But I did warn people to stay clear of Peter Mackay, and it looks like he's just making it worse. Um, he's come out with this strange letter. I don't know if it's an open letter or what it is, but he's come out with this very strange. I'm almost wondering whether or not he's actually serious about trying to be leader. I really don't think that people who are concerned about Peter Mackay becoming the leader should really be all that concerned because I don't think he's all that serious, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, I'm trying to look for the letter, but in essence, he's saying that gender identity and homosexuality and LGBTQ rights are essentially the most important things to Canada right now. I mean, this is. I mean, what's he trying? Is he trying to be spiteful? I mean, I don't know what his problem is, but let me read you this letter that he has sent out to all of his followers. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go to his Facebook page right now, and I am going to read to you this letter that he has posted on his thing, and it says, "Pride parades are important. We live in a world where sexual orientation and gender identity are still used by tyrants and bigots to belittle and oppress. In Canada, we are lucky to have a society that has grown more tolerant, more accepting, and more understanding, but there's still more work to be done. The fact that some will condemn the statement speaks louder than any argument I could make about the importance of the next leader of the Conservative Party of Canada to follow in the footsteps of Rona Ambrose and march in support of Pride. Today I am submitting my application to march in Toronto Pride on June 28th, either as our party leader or as a private citizen. I hope all conservatives will consider joining me." So let me psychoanalyze this statement. First of all, let's do this point by point. Number one, he talks about. Let me read. Let me see this again. First of all, he talks about the problems that people in the LGBT or sexual orientation, gender identity, that crowd go through, and he says that um, we live in a world where sexual orientation and gender identity are still used by tyrants and bigots to belittle and oppress us. But then he goes on to say, in Canada, we are lucky to have a society that has grown more tolerant and more accepting. Okay, so you clearly admit that Canada is a very accepting country when it comes to these sort of things. I mean, nobody can dare. I mean, nobody, and I mean it, you can't dare say anything about the LGBT community. I mean, if you even so much as wink in a bad way towards the LGBT community, you will be destroyed in this country. I mean, literally, you will be destroyed to the point where you might want to consider suicide. You will lose your job. You will lose all respectability. The government will come down on you. You'll probably lose all your finances. You won't have money to pay mortgage or rent. You'll be on the street. I mean, you cannot say anything about the LGBT community here. I mean, they've got their parade. The Pride Parade in Toronto is one of the largest pride parades on earth. Really, it's gone far beyond acceptance. It's downright compliance. You better shut the hell up and let the community do its thing. And that's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with LGBT. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've got an uncle who is homosexual, and you know what? He's the best family member I have in my family. I got a lot of people in my family that's got a lot of problems, but he's the best. I love that man. He's the best. I love him. I love him. I have nothing against people who are gay. I don't know, like, I don't care what you want to do. I'm not like some people do. Some people, for whatever reason, have a problem with it. It bothers them. And I don't really understand why. I mean, I guess if you were older and, that stuff wasn't normal and, okay, fine. But, two consenting adults doing what they want to do, it's fine. I mean, okay, I will say that your relationship doesn't bear any fruit. It doesn't bear any children. And if the more people who become gay and lesbian, the less years we as a human race have, because their relationship can't bear any fruit. Children. But okay, whatever. Maybe we need less humans in this world. Humans have caused nothing but trouble as far as I'm concerned. I have no problem with gays. And Canada doesn't either. And Canadians better not have a problem with gays. When's the last time you heard a politician say anything about gays who is in any serious position in this country? I mean, even mayor of some tiny town, he can't say anything. So what is the point of this? What is the point of this, Peter Mackay? What's the point of this whole dramatics? I will march in the parade in Toronto. I'm going to march in the parade in Toronto. I'm going to march in the parade in Toronto. We're going to do this. We got to do this. We got to do. I'm going to march in this parade in Toronto. This is the biggest issue that I have. I just announced that I am running to be prime minister. And the first speech I make is announcing that I am going to run in the parade in Toronto, the Pride Parade. Yay and amen, and boom shakalaka goes right there. I support you every step of the way. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus. I'm not going to talk about the danger that USMCA is going to cause for Canadians. It's going to make Canada a colony of the United States. We're going to be enslaved to the Yankee Doodles out there. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about terrorism. I'm not going to talk about crime. That's it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to march in the Toronto Parade. I'm going to march in the Toronto Parade, and nobody's going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody wants to stop you, Peter. But let's continue here. The fact that some will condemn this statement speaks louder than any argument I can make about the importance for the next leader of the Conservative Party of Canada to follow in the footsteps of Rona Ambrose and march in support of Pride. Okay, so here's the thing, Peter. Nobody is condemning you. Nobody serious, at least, I should say. Nobody of any relevance. Nobody of any importance is condemning you for marching in Pride. I'm not condemning you for marching in Pride. I don't care. I mean, I don't care who marches. Doug Ford marches in Pride. I like him. A lot of good people march in Pride. Who cares? I personally wouldn't march in Pride because, number one, I don't like the fact that they condone men to run around the streets naked. That is the thing I don't like about Pride. And children are there. They don't get arrested. That is something that I despise. And that's one of the things that I think the LGBT community really needs to start addressing and taking seriously. Because I have made videos, which, remember the video I made about that one in BC, that one, that crazy one there. What's his name? Jonathan Yaniv. And I said the LGBT community created Jonathan Yaniv. And the reason I said that, and many LGBT people would recoil at me saying that, but the reason I said that is because they allowed people in their transgender community to get away with a lot of ridiculous things. A lot of ridiculous, abhorrent, out of control. They went too far, which then allows people like Jonathan to feel comfortable representing that community, acting the fool. And then it comes to the point where all these trans people are now rushing around and scrambling to say, no, he doesn't represent us. He doesn't represent Blair White and all these people. He doesn't represent us. Well, I shouldn't say Blair White because she is good at going after people who are foolish, who say they're trans. But the LGBT community needs to crack down on these naked men who walk around the streets during Pride when children are there. I mean, there are literally children who see them, who gawk at them naked, and they show themselves up. I mean, how can you accept someone like that to act that way in your organization? But anyway, nobody is condemning Peter Mackay for marching in Pride, but what we're questioning is the fact that you are virtue signaling to us. And frankly, we've had enough of it. We get enough virtue signaling from Justin the tacky-headed tar-faced Mac Daddy Trudeau. We get enough virtue signaling from the far left and the so-called woke progressive left. We're sick of that. We're tired of being treated like children. We're tired of being, frankly, bullied into... It's not enough for them to almost accept their way of life, but it's like we're being bullied into not only accepting but almost participate. It's like literally every year lately that I've noticed, every election year in Canada, the leader, usually the center-right leader, is asked, will he march in Pride Parade? And if he says no, or if he hesitates, he's bullied by the media. Why won't he march in Pride Parade? What the hell is his problem? The hell with you? I remember Andrew Scheer, he was asked that question. He said he doesn't know. He said Andrew Scheer was perfectly reasonable. He said, personally, I am socially conservative, but I'm not going to stop people. Are you going to march in Pride Parade? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't. Andrew Scheer is not marching in Pride Parade. What the hell is wrong with him? He should be destroyed. Crucify Andrew Scheer. Crucify him. Let's crucify him. Let's tear him up. That puts a bitter pill in our mouth. We don't like that. Let me put it to you this way. If I was on a debate stage and a moderator asked me if I would march in Pride, I would flat out 100% say no. I would say no. And I would say the reason why is because Pride Parade, especially the one in Toronto, they ban police officers from participating. They disrespect our police, but then when some radical Muslim or some radical Christian cultish group comes after them or writes something hateful about them, or does something hateful to them, the first people they want to call is the police. But they're going to treat the police with such disrespect. And secondly, I don't like the fact that they allow naked people to run around the streets in the Pride Parade. So, no, I wouldn't. That's what I would say. And also, it's just not something I'm interested in. I'm not interested in marching in the Pride Parade. It doesn't interest me. I don't want to stop people from doing it. You go ahead and do it. We'll protect you as well. We know there's a lot of crazies out there who think that they can determine what goes on in people's bedroom, but I'm just not interested. It's not on my agenda as a politician. No more than going to Carabana or Taste of Danforth or the Christmas parade. It's just not. I mean, I will go to those are to me those are entertainments. Caravana is entertainment. Christmas parade is entertainment. Pride is entertainment. I go to things that entertain me, and pride doesn't interest me. So no, why would I subject myself to something that doesn't interest me? The virtue signal? No, I'm not going to do it. So no, I would say no. And if you want to bully me about it, go ahead. I'll bully you right back. That's what I would say. So Peter Mackay doing this, this whole, just the fact that I'm going to get heat about this just shows how. No, you're not getting heat for the reasons you think you're getting heat, Peter. You're getting heat because you are participating in the virtue signaling that conservatives, especially, are put through on a daily basis. The bullying, the passive aggressiveness, you are participating in it. We don't like it. We resent it. We don't like the fact that the establishment and the media put us through this on a daily basis. And we resent the fact that you are going through with this as well. For you to write something that there's no point in it. You want to go to the Pride Parade, just go. You don't have to make a big deal about it. Just go. Just go. Don't lecture us about things like that. We don't care. You can ask anybody. Most people, I can go to, Oshawa where I live. Pretty conservative town. Pretty, nationally conservative. Not, pretty conservative town. I could go into any Tim Hortons right now. In fact, I could go to Alberta right now. Go to Tim Hortons, go anywhere in Alberta. Do you care about gay people shacking up in the bedroom? Most people are going to say no. But we don't like being virtue signaled to. And you know something? The more you virtue signal to us and bully us and act passive aggressive to us, the more we begin to resent the LGBT community. And that's when you start getting people who do start saying, maybe I don't like this community. Maybe I think gays should be stopped, not because I care, but because, I just want to stick it to them. I'm tired of being bullied and told what to think. You guys were told what to think, and you didn't like it. We stopped it, and now you're trying to do it to us, like. And Peter Mackay is acting like the way the liberals and the media and the socialists and the progressives and the woke people treat us. And why would we want to have someone like that as a leader? Someone who treats us the way the opposition treats us. I mean, why would we want to vote for someone as our leader who is treating us in the same woke, progressive, SJW, snowflakey way that the opposition do? Might as well have Justin Attack Tarface Swiftfoot Two-Face Mac Daddy Trudeau as the leader of the conservatives. If you're going to treat us the way he and his media people do. It's just another reason why we should not vote for Peter Mackay. Not because he's going to march in a pride parade, but because he is acting the way the left act, and he's treating us and talking to us, talking down to us, the way the woke progressive leftists talk down to us. This is the Arana Nation.